Hello and welcome to Tales of Anosmia. I'm Jules and I am anosmic. I have no sense of smell. I am missing one of my senses, and yet I don't consider myself to be disabled. Why is that? Maybe it's because I've never really felt limited by having anosmia. Maybe if I'd had dreams of becoming a chef, I might feel quite differently, but as it is, I don't think it's ever going to be an issue for me particularly. I must admit, when I was younger, I worried about living alone and how I would be able to do that not knowing if food was spoiled, and the fear of a gas leak, which is the main terror that I had associated with my anosmia, but I've not ever had to live by myself. I went straight from living with my parents to living with friends at university in shared accommodation to living with my boyfriend. So odds are I'm not going to ever find myself in that situation. Other people who are anosmic may very well consider themselves to be disabled, especially if they haven't had very supportive friends or family, if they have felt prejudiced at any point or been bullied or ridiculed because of it. And I think particularly those who once had a sense of smell, I feel like that's going to be a lot more of an effect on your mental state and may well really make you feel like you are missing something, and rightly so. So personally, I don't feel that I am disabled. But technically am I? I am missing a sense, so perhaps that does mean in some definition that I have a disability. But let's look at it from the legal side. The definition of disability under the Equalities Act 2010 states, if you have a physical or mental impairment that has a substantial and long-term negative effect on your ability to do normal daily activities. Long-term, yes, definitely it's long-term. I've never had a sense of smell, probably never will have a sense of smell. I think that's the definition of long-term. Substantial negative effect on your ability to do normal daily activities. I'd say no. Not to me personally, at least. Aside from maybe once a week having to get my boyfriend to have a sniff of some food that I think might have gone off, that's the only thing I can't really do on a daily basis. Delving a little bit deeper into the legal stuff, section A5 of this document states that an impairment can be sensory impairment such as sight or hearing. So by using such as, that would imply, presumably, that other senses with levels of impairment would also be included, not just sight and hearing. So potentially then that could include anosmia. Just to clarify, I'm not a lawyer, but having a read through the rest of this document and reading some other clauses, it would be quite clear that just because you have an impairment, as long as it doesn't negatively affect your day-to-day life, it does not count as a disability. However, if the impairment leads to something else, such as anosmia leading to someone's depression, the depression can possibly count as a disability depending on severity, how it affects the person, etc. Potentially, if you are anosmic and it causes depression, your depression is technically the disability, not the anosmia itself. I think. That's my understanding anyway, like I said, not a lawyer. But I thought this might be really interesting to get some discussion going on. Where is the line for being disabled? If you're anosmic, do you consider yourself to be a disabled person? Genuinely interested. Simple question to answer. Do you think that anosmia is a disability? As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon for more Tales of Anosmia. Bye!